Hey, Kathy, good morning. Good
Good,
day.
good morning, Gaetan. Hi, everyone. Hi, folks.
Hey, how are we doing?
Yeah, what a great show we're going to have today. It's going to be about why dogs and humans love each other more than anyone else. And I certainly could attest to that myself personally, and I am sure you guys can too. Then we're going to, Gaetan, tell us briefly about the Narnia.
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 Yes.
I keep saying
So,
Narnia.
Narnia. Last week was the last week of the session, and that's for the kindergarten puppy session. And there was a lot of thing going on in that last session. It was not just, oh, nice, you have do, yeah, but there was like actual training and a lot of it,
Yeah,
and a lot of a challenge for dogs. And then at the end of the class, it was graduation day, and the dog received their diploma. So we have a lot of material to show today, and it's the last of the series of 6 program or 6 video we have produced. And I'm very, very thankful to Narnia Pet Behavior and Training and Sarah Swan, who let me in, give me permission to film. Also, I got permission from every individual you see in the video. I have permission from them to film their dog and their family and themselves sometime. So thank you for everybody. We'll see the video. We'll talk about it after the video, and we have more project in our bucket.
right. Okay, so we're going to begin with why dogs and humans love each other more than anyone else. Uh, through the years, I've been able to identify that those people that love their dogs have a better connection with them than people that don't. Well, doing some research, Time Magazine put out a number of things, and I put a link in the description so that you can actually go and look at this particular web page. It was amazing that we go back almost 14,000 years of our relationship with dogs. And what we did when we 14,000 years ago is we used to have the dogs do work for us, go and make certain that we were protected. They would
Mm-hmm.
bring meat to us. They would do a number of things for us, and in return we gave them shelter and food and loving, and they
Yeah.
gave it back to us. Well, once we evolved again 14,000 years later, we still had the relationship, but the dogs had no job to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So their only job was to be associated with us. So they became very connected to us from an emotional level and what we want to call love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have that relationship with your dog, you do have a very good relationship, more than anybody else could ever imagine.
Yeah.
So I thought this goes in line with what the show is about.
Yes, it
Our,
is.
our purpose, the Dog Connection Show, is our purpose is we want to bring those people that think they might love their dog to a level even higher, to
Mm-hmm.
understand. Now, why do I say this? Because you think that you don't understand a dog, and the truth is you really do speak dog. You understand their language.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do anything, and they understand what you want, and you understand what they want. If you were to be living in a dog only universe without saying a word, you'd be able to determine whether they were upset, whether they were happy, by their body language, by
Mm-hmm.
the interaction, and you'd be able to do that. So why don't we do that every day? We should,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We should.
Absolutely.
It makes a lot more sense. So anyway, here is wait, I just saw here a second. Let me undo this. I see we got a few comments here. Who do we have here?
Paul.
Oh, we got Paul. Hi, Paul. Good afternoon. Yeah, you're in Australia, aren't you? I
Yep.
think so. Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
And then my brother is here. Hi, Ron.
Hey,
Hi.
Ron. How you doing?
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to share the this web page, which is from Time Magazine, and that's where the saying came from. It actually came from an excerpt. This is an excerpt from Time Magazine of how dogs think inside the canine mind.
Mm-hmm.
But this little video here, it's only a minute long. It kind of gives us a little overview. of why dogs are important and why you might want to be bringing. One of the big things right now is bring your dog to work with you. And some companies actually allow you to do that, and some companies allow you to have them there all the time. What they're finding is that if you bring your dog to work, you're more productive and you're less upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine here was one of the reasons why, because you're at work all day long and you're thinking, well, I got to get home. You don't want to work overtime because you got to get home to take your dog out or to let your dog out, or you want to see your dog.
Mm-hmm.
If your dog is with you all day, then you don't need to go home real early and you can possibly get things done. That's just my 2 cents anyhow.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's watch this video here. Whoops. I was going to start over again. So how many, I'd be interested to know, does anybody that's watching, do they have dogs that they can, what do you call it, that they
Bring
can
to your office.
work? Yeah, right. Duh.
I have a comment.
Okay.
I look at the video and I noticed all the dog behave properly, and it's not granted. It's not granted when you adopt a dog that the dog will behave,
Right.
but every dog are trainable. Every dogs are trainable. You can train dogs, and you can obtain absolutely spectacular result. And this is the reason why we did Narnia for 6 weeks. See the transformation of the dog over a period of 6 weeks from free willy to obedience, basic obedience like stay, sit, rest, come, and you have to know that you need to train the dog. You don't take a dog like off the street and say, "Come, I'll take you to the office," and then everything will be fine. Every new environment, you need to be acclimated to the new environment. That's what I learned from the 6 weeks I spent with Narnia in
Right.
the training. We have a comment from Paul Wins.
Oh yeah, right. Here we go. Okay, Paul says that archaeologist Jane Baum told Science Network Western Australia written accounts by early European colonists claim dingoes are dogs in Australia.
Yes.
Were used by aboriginals as pets or companions, guard dogs, and even blankets, suggesting a close bond between human and the animal. That's very true. That's kind of what I was saying now. 14,000 years ago, who thinks 14,000 years ago? Nobody does. Mm-hmm. Oh, good morning, Dale.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for watching. For the people that have trained their dogs, And they did it the right way, where there's eye contact, there's a connection, there's a bond, they created a relationship. They recognize, just like at Narnia's, I noticed that they always wanted to make certain that there was eye contact with the dog. The human had to have the eye contact.
And dogs, yeah.
And the dogs.
Yes.
So that they can
mutual.
Right, and they can recognize who is the alpha and who is in control. But it's amazing that the human is the one really being trained, and it's the human that's training the dog.
That's correct.
So it's us, folks. It's us that need to get a little bit more savvy on what we're doing around these dogs. We think that, especially if they came from a shelter, my goodness, Gaetan, we don't know what their background is. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you have an unruly dog, the problem is you.
That's it. That's it. Well, what do you say now? Okay, let's see here. Let me see. Let's go on for week 6 at Narnia.
Okay.
Okay. Now, folks, this is about a 20-minute video. Gaetan has gone through. Actually, you can explain what we're going to be seeing.
It's a 6th week of the training. On the 6th week, at the end of the 6th week, there's a graduation, but each class is run for about an hour. And the last class, it's a kind of summary, taking all the training done the first 5 weeks and putting that together, and then creating a new environment, which is completely new to the owner and the dog, and drop and dump everybody in that new environment and say, okay, deal with that. And deal based on what you learned in the past 5 weeks, and see how successful you can be. And this is not a setup to fail, it's a setup to learn. Right. It's a setup to apply what you learn in the first 5 weeks. And you apply in this new environment, new situation, new discovery for the owner and for the dog. So some of the situation, I will use this word situation as vaguely as possible. You'll see in the video what we mean by that. And then it's become like very interesting to see who's doing what, how successful they can be. And I hope you'll enjoy the video.
Oh, we got one more comment from Paul.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing today, Paul. We appreciate it. He says, believe it or not, my dogs work with me all day in winter. He sits beneath the cremator. Oh, okay. I didn't know what you do. What's a cremator? He enjoys that heat coming from it, but I will admit I couldn't do my work without him. Okay, I understand. I don't know what maybe it's a misspelling. Okay.
A cremator is maybe like a
heater,
a space heater.
It could be. I think
it could be a space heater. But Paul, will listen, can be given the definition of what I believe a cremator might be. Yeah. A space heater in the U.S.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think they are doing any cremation under the desk.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, cremation. Oh.
So no cremation under the desk. Probably a space heater.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see this video.
Let's go with this.
And now I'll press play.
All right. Nice on the downs. Where's your praise, though? There we go. Good. It's graduation night. Yay! It's the big day. We are going to work on sit stay, and then we're going to play with some new things that your dog probably hasn't seen yet. Okay? So let's work on our sit stay. With our sit stay means I want you to sit right here. That's all it means. Doesn't mean lay down. Just means hang out right in front of me. With your stay, you need your release word. If you start a stay, at some point you have to end a stay. You have to tell your dog that they no longer have to stay. So we use our release words for that. So back on week 1, we talked about release words. Go play, all done, free, that'll do, dismissed, adios. So how our sit stay works. Stay hand is empty. Treats will come from the other hand. So it's a two-handed exercise. So it's going to be sit, stay. Good dog, give him a treat. Stay. Good dog, treat. Stay. Release word, no more food. Once you give the release word, it is over. There's no more cookies. It is just done. All good things happen while your dog is in that sit stay. Jane's going to demo for us. Who are we going to borrow? All right. Cooper. What is Cooper's release word? All done. All right. So Jane's got a handful of cookies there. We're going to ignore the jumping. Good. Well, yep. Got to get the puppy wiggles out. It's all right. Okay. So we're going to do our sit. All right, here we go. Stay. Oh, his butt came up. Stay. Good, he gets a treat. Stay. Good, he gets a jewel. Oh, good. All right, so he's got a super quick tush. So first thing we're going to do with him is not going to add stay. All we're going to do is reward him for sitting and being cute in front of us, okay? Because if we keep adding stay, it's not working. We want to get him comfortable with hanging out in a sit, and that means you're going to get cookies. Because right now he gets a cookie and his butt comes up. He's got a fast butt. All right, and a sit, and he gets a cookie. And a sit, and he, that's a lovely spin. Good, and we give a little cookie, and we'll give another cookie, and we'll give another cookie. And this is some frustration. He's going, I'm really interested in Bella tonight. And Bella's doing her best to pretend he's not there. Good. So, and this is frustration, okay? See if he'll do a down for you, Jane, and just go ahead and reward a little down. I want to get his mind on something else. Can you get some prongs for me? Good. And we're just going to praise and reward him for laying down. Get his mind on something else. Something he's successful with. That's a lovely down. Get him refocused a little bit. Yep. He's like, all right. Sometimes you just need a break, and that's okay. All right. And you know what? We are going to give. Go ahead, and you guys can give him that. And Jane's going to borrow another dog because we don't want to frustrate him. So we're giving him just a few minutes, and we'll come back. Now, we're going to go back to Cooper. He's had a moment. He's like, hey, yeah. Hey, buds. Here. All right. So Jane's going to have him do a sit in front, and she's just going to praise and reward for that nice sit. Good. Oh, good boy. Good job. He's like, heck yeah, lady. Good job. All right, Jane, when you're ready, add your stay. Stay, good, he gets a treat. Stay, good, he gets a treat. Stay, and it's over. With our stays, stay hand is empty, treat from the other hand. Stay, good dog treat, stay, good dog treat, stay, all done, and it's over. You guys ready? Let's do it. Stay right in front of your dog. Do not back away. Once you tell them stay, do not go too long. Keep it nice and short.
This kid is great with him.
Mm-hmm.
stay, I want you to work up toward a 1-minute sit stay with your dog right in front of you. No distractions, no distance. Here they are, and here you are. A good solid minute. When they're consistently at a minute, then we're going to start adding distractions. Holding a toy, bouncing a ball, stepping to the side, turning to the side. When they can do a full minute with constant distractions, then we'll start adding some distance. The distance will come last. So we'll get there, but it comes later. So duration, and then distraction, and then distance. Those are with cookies. As your stay gets longer, the treats become more frequent. So what does that mean? That means that when they're really good at a 10-second sit stay, maybe they only get 1 cookie in the first 10 seconds. But between that 10 and 20-second window, they might get 3. And when they're really good at 20 seconds, maybe they only get 1 cookie in that 20 seconds. But between that 20 and 30-second window, maybe they get 3, 4, or 5. So as the stay gets longer, you become more generous with the cookies. That's going to help us build up that time so that we get to a minute. So on week 6, we'd like to bring out some things that your dog may not have been exposed to yet. The whole purpose of this exercise is to build confidence and trust. This is a great relationship building exercise. So I'm going to go around the room and explain what everything is and then the rules of the road. Okay? So we have some weave pulls. I want you to use a little cookie and lure your dog through, in and out, in between the posts. Okay? Be careful because it's easy to get the leash caught up on this one. We have our little ladder. This is used to create a little body awareness. A lot of dogs, especially young dogs, they don't necessarily pay attention to what that tush, those back feet, are running over. So this creates a little awareness. So we want them to walk through it going this way. So you can have a little treat at their nose and you can lure them through, or you can drop a cookie in each one of the squares and let them hop their way along. Over here, we've got some things with wheels. So things with wheels can be scary. So let them go up, check it all out while they're not moving. If they don't care when they're not moving, go ahead and move them around a little bit. Move the stroller, move the skateboard, move the car. Don't take them for a walk. Don't run them over. We don't want to scare them, but we want them comfortable with things that move. Over here, we've got our little kiddie pool. We want them to step into it and do a sit or a down. So this one, when they step in, it might make some noise. Okay, this is harder than you might think it would be. You can show a couple treats and toss it in, or leave a little cookie trail. But we want to encourage them to hop in there on their own and do a sit or a down. We've got our hut. We want them going into something that's covered. Some dogs will go in and turn around and come right back out. Some might go straight through or make a turn. It doesn't matter. Make sure before you do this one that the leash is not wrapped around your wrist. Because if they do go all the way through, you're going to have to drop the leash to pick it up on the other side. If it's wrapped, you can't drop it. This goes flying. It scares the dog. Totally defeats the purpose of the exercise. We have our 2 jumps. Jump number 1, jump number 2. Do these as one exercise. So just make sure no one else is starting on the other end. You can adjust it. We can make it lower or higher. This one, we can take the levels off for our more petite dogs. Okay, so you don't have to jump quite as high. A lot of you guys, you're going to be like piece of cake, like the puppy jumps over the coffee table. No big deal, right? And they're going to go all the way, and they're going to stop right in front of it. So if you have a dog that stops right when you get to it, show a treat and toss it. A cookie in motion usually gets the dog in motion. So that'll usually get them up and moving. Over here, we've got our little teeter. We want them on a different type of surface, so we're going to have them step on some wood. Have them start on this side and go this way. Always start on the side that's down. When they walk on it, it does move. There's towels underneath, so it doesn't drop quite as far or make as much noise. Okay, you can check it out. If you can't get them to walk on it going this way, see if you can even get them to step on it going the opposite way. We just want those paws on a different surface. And then over here, we've got our 2 little hula hoops. Have them step in and do a sit or a down. Have them step out before you pick it up. That one does not make noise. This one does. It has the beads in it. Okay. Turn it to the side and then have them walk through going this way. I want it sideways, not this way. If it's this way and you try to get your dog to come to you, many of them won't because they feel like this isn't enough room. Bella would have enough room, but a lot of them, they won't. So that's why it's turned this way. Have them go sideways, okay? And then we've got our little trampoline. This is used to simulate some of the vet scales that kind of have a little wiggle and jiggle to it, a little give. So we want them to step up onto it and do a sit or a down. You may need to leave a little cookie trail along the way. You will be impressed on how far they can reach before they actually put a paw up. They get really long necks for this one, all right? So when we do these exercises, do each one 3 times in a row. So get on the trampoline 3 times in a row. Because if the first time's scary, second time gets a little bit easier. Usually by the third time, it's a piece of cake. It's not that big of a deal. Name each item. Weave, ladder, stroller, car, tunnel, pool, hut, jump, over, teeter, hoop, whatever you want to call it. Name each item. That's that relationship building part of it, okay? You're there to protect them and to keep them safe, but you're building some confidence that if they're unsure of something, you can help them work through, all right? There's no particular order, though I recommend doing the hut before the tunnel, because if the hut is scary, the tunnel's usually scarier. So we can build a little confidence with that first. Please be aware of other dogs' space. We don't want any unexpected goosing. All right, guys, are you ready? Come on out, have some fun.
Good boy.
Nice, Hans. Oh, that doesn't happen very often. Good job, buddy.
About the pool and the trampoline.
We are going to talk about the joys of adolescence. Yay! Congratulations, you now have teenage dogs. You get your cute little puppies, they follow you around. Your big challenge is usually your house training and the nipping. It gets better, and then you guys like, all right, we're getting through. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and it's like they don't know their name. They've never heard the word come before. They've never heard the word sit. Like the brain has turned off. That is the day that they enter adolescence, when they start losing their puppy teeth. That's when it happens. So usually between 14 and 16 weeks of age. It is part of the normal development of a dog. The selective hearing kicks in, garbage rating, stealing things, not coming when called. They've never heard any word that you've taught them before. Those are all really, really normal things that happen during adolescence. Your dog is not physically or mentally mature until they are 2. My retriever mixes and any terriers, I got no terriers, 3, okay, could take a little bit longer, but it is absolutely normal. You have not entered the worst stage of it yet. Usually the most challenging part I found is between 7 and 11 months. That means that you need to be really, really consistent with them. You've set rules. This is not the time to cave. Stick with it. Mental exercise as well as physical exercise are both really important. You need to give them a job. If you don't give them a job, they will self-employ. And that is when they start their landscaping, okay? Or when they start stealing things or shredding things, they find their own job. So it's important that you give them things to do. One of my favorite toys, this is called a Buster Cube, okay? My first 2 dogs ate every meal for 7 years out of a Buster Cube. You put their kibble in there and they flip it around with their nose or their paw in order to get the food to come out. So instead of the 2 minutes it takes them to eat at the bowl, it takes 15 or so to knock this around. Another one out there is called a tricky treat ball. That's this one. Same idea, you put their kibble in, it's softer, it's quieter, so they have to roll it around instead of flipping it. But the same idea is their kibble comes out. It is graduation time. When I call your dog's name, come on up with them to receive your diploma. We're going to start with Bella. Come on down, Bella. Yay, Bella. There you go. You're welcome. Next we have Evie. Come on down, Evie. There you go. You're welcome. Next up is Riku. Come on down, Riku. There you go. You're welcome. Next we have Ivy. Come on down, Ivy. There you go. You're welcome. And Louie. Come on down, Louie. There you go. Next up is Hans. Come on down, Hans. There you go. You're welcome. Last but not least, Cooper. You look tired, dude. There you go. You're welcome. Congratulations, everyone. You've officially completed puppy kindergarten. Yay! Thanks, Bella. Your puppies, don't forget to have fun with them. They are getting bigger. They're looking more like big dogs. So we often forget that they're still very, very young. Okay, so be patient with them, be really consistent. This session is a lot about teaching you guys the basics. We're not just teaching your dog, we're teaching you how to teach your dog so that you know how to follow through with it at home. You are all free to go. Congratulations! Yay!
Great job, Gaetan. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was. I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm thinking these little kids they're like kids. The dogs are like kids, and it's like a treat and everything new. They do have a thirst to want to learn. They
Yeah.
really want to please their
Mm-hmm.
humans. They
Mm-hmm.
really, really do. We have some comments here. Let's see. Let's see. August says, you love the sit stay tips and release. He loved that. And Sebastian is here with us. He said lots of love from Dramaniac's gang of puppy lovers. And Sanjit is here live from Sebastian.com. And let's see. Parker's always so complimentary. Thank you. Thank you for doing all you do for puppy people, Kathy Tarchioni and Gaetan.
There's Kelly also.
Yeah, right. And there's Sebastian. This was during
The show.
Yeah, when we couldn't learn. Yeah.
Right.
Hi, Debbie. Hope everything is going okay for you. Good morning. And Kelly, hi, sweetie. She says her dogs are watching too, and I'm sure her dogs are. That's for sure. And Dale says, good job filming, Gaetan.
Thank you, Dale.
And going back now, before we go any further, to Paul. Paul, you said you're a biocremator. While we were watching the show, I decided to look you up, and apparently you must be involved with some kind of medical care for animals or training or something or another. Clarify what you do. We'd really like to know and help support you. I saw you had a picture of a koala bear, and it looks like you were in a vet's office. So let us know. Okay, so now the end of that, do you have any questions on what Gaetan did, which was a great, great effort that was really super, super filming, Gaetan?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, but I did my very best with the limitation of the equipment. Normally, I work with a crew of 7 or 8 people in a situation like that. And Genevieve and I, we were the crew, and I have 2 cameras and was running one camera. The other one was fixed. And I was trying to capture everything going on, especially that day. There were so many things going on that I could not catch. There was one thing called the tunnel. I cannot catch it because where it was located. And by the time I tried to cover most of the challenges, she called the activity, and then she proceeded with her statement about teenager, and her statement with teenager. A dog is a teenager for the first 2 years, or it's not adult until 2 to 3 years, depending on the breed you have. So you start. Most of the people start at the age of 12 weeks. Their dog, when they start the class on day 1, they were in the range of 12 to 13 weeks. I think one was 14 weeks. And it's quite young. It's a perfect age to start training. But the training needs to carry on until they are 2 years old. And even after 2 years old or 3 years old, you keep having the same interaction with the dog to create new situation, or, it's a continuous process. And love from dog come not from a spontaneous burst of love to you. It's come from a build relationship between you and the dog. When the trainer asks the owner to wait for the dog to have an eye contact, that's very important, because through the eyes there's a lot of communication going on, more than we imagine. And with time and with creating that relationship there, the reward is no longer required. And Sarah made clear in the process of the training, the part where you reward for each good thing is initial step. Eventually, the reward is no longer required. The dog and him and you, and the dog and you relationship becomes such that there's no need of reward. Just you calling the dog, he knows it's a good thing. And this is where the relationship become a new relationship and a different relationship. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, Dale says that we should give you a raise. If we were getting paid, that'd be an ideal thing, but we don't. We produce this all on our own. I agree. I need a raise too. Oh,
Yes.
here, let me raise you this way. I lift you up, Gaetan. There,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, and Paul, thank you for clarifying this. Okay, so you run a pet creation business for end of life. You know, we should talk. We should really talk. Let's connect after the show. That's a very, very disheartening, but also very humble. And he said it's biocremation, which means that there's either trees involved or some kind of earth, so that the souls or the bodies are given back to the universe, and then trees or whatever are blah, blah. Excuse me. Yeah. The next subject that we want to talk about is, you know, folks, since 2000, so that's 20 years already, I'm a digital artist and I create what I call petagraphs. And a petagraph is a combination of fine digital art along with an inspirational message. So I want to show you what a petagraph starts out. First, I take a picture. Usually it's a picture of a client or a client's dog or a dog from a shelter. And I take that picture and I enhance it. I do what's called photo manipulation. So this is a digital art piece just as it is right now. Now, to make it a petagraph, I add some sayings to it. So let's say, for instance, I'll show you this one here. This was a picture of a dog of a friend of mine, and then we added some sayings to it, and then that particular picture now becomes a petagraph. So what we started to think of is Gaetan and I through the past 20 years, I have a good 2,000 of them, and we've put some into the stores and that. But wouldn't it be nice? Everyone always wants to know, how can they contribute? Well, we're just developing a new store. And what we're going to invite you to do is, if you have a very good picture of your dog, which is a headshot or at least 300 DPI, and it's not real busy, then you can submit it to us. And if we feel that it's, if it's, I shouldn't say good enough, but if it's an image that would involve and inspire people, then we would like to be able to use that picture, create a saying that would go with it, an inspirational quote, and then have it available in our Empathy for Dogs shop. So that not only will the picture of your dog, you certainly will want to have some type of memorabilia of that picture that you would purchase, but other people would want to purchase it as well, and that would help contribute to the shop. So here's some examples of some of the petagraphs that these are actual pictures that people have sent in to us, and then we create the petagraphs, just to give you an idea. So they are going to be available in the store on a number of different things, from the typical t-shirts and hats and that, but it also, they've got tables. You're going to be able to have a table with your dog's picture on it. Isn't that great? And let me see on one more here. I don't know if I showed that one or not. Yeah. But there's a lot of products that are coming into the store. So I wanted to add that I did not realize how long it was going to take me to get this store up and running. And all I know is that I put one product in, and to do all of the mechanisms that go along with it and the variants, it took me 35 minutes. Well, I've got a lot of things. So we were planning on having the show on February 27th, but we're going to have to do it to the middle of March. So for those of you that are watching, we appreciate it. What can I say? I know. So anyway, we also have this submit your product or service, which is in the link. up above, which is in the description up above. And stay tuned for our show coming up sometime in mid-March. Okay, and thanks everyone for watching the show.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you for watching. Thank you. We have more for you next week.
Okay, everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.